Hello viewers, welcome back. On my last video I took a look at a Sony video printer, and I mentioned in that video that there is a some kind of security issue with the print ribbons that are used in that printer, because they leave the negative of what was printed actually on the film, which is disposable. So potentially sensitive information could be discarded without you really realizing that it's made a record of everything that's been printed, basically. So I've just finished off this cartridge. I think there are a few prints left on it, but I've just finished my pack of paper, so I'm going to discard this one now and just put a new one in. So I thought I would have a look at this print ribbon and just see how bad the issue might be, and we can also have a look at the sort of condition of the film and see what we can find. So there's obviously a feed of the film and a take-up roller. There's just two, literally just a cog on each one, and that'll just interface with a drive cog inside the actual printer. So one of these has the source film, and one just takes up the waste. So if I wind this way, that looks like that's been a printed one. So if I wind it back the other, you can see, yeah, that's fresh ink on there. If I keep going, that should finish, and then we'll have magenta, and then the cyan. So let's just wind this back to where we were. So yeah, you can definitely see something there. Obviously the printing process does make a mess of the actual ribbon, so obviously no chance of being able to reuse that. But what surprised me is the amount of ink that is actually transferred onto the paper. You can barely see the difference. So obviously there's a lot of wastage here. So what I'm going to do now, just to see, because I'm particularly interested in what images were on there before I got the printer, and what it might have been used for. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wind off camera, I'm going to wind up all the pictures that I've taken on this, printed on this, of which there's quite a few. I think I've done about 40 prints so far, so it's going to take a little bit of time to wind through back to my first print. Now I'm pretty certain that my first print was this one, which was a test print that I did going through the BPMC premium cable glitch processor. So I was glitching some videotape, and I just captured it with the printer as a test, with lots of colours on, just to see whether it worked alright. So I'm pretty certain that's my first image. So I'm going to go through and find that one, and then we'll see what was printed before it. So I'm just part way through winding this back, and I've just noticed one of these prints that I've made. You can actually see some of the colour that's been laid down by one of the other colours actually being picked up by the cyan colour here. You can just see a bit of yellow just on there, so it's obviously, it picks up a little bit when it prints one colour over the top of another, which is kind of interesting. Right, I think that might be the image I'm looking for, I think. Let me just go back one more. Yeah, there's definitely something on here I've not seen before. Probably going to be really hard for you to see this and to get the camera to focus, but there's definitely something there. I think I can see a date and a time 25th of November 2016, 10:29. But it doesn't really seem to be. It's just got an outline. Let's just try. See, there's a. What I might do, I might actually take the film out of this cartridge. I'll be able to lay it out. So a quick little tip if you're struggling with focus on something like this, what you can do, set the camera to autofocus, put something flat where you want it to focus, get everything set up, and then switch the camera to manual focus. Take that away and then we should be in focus, hopefully. There's definitely a border thing going on here. With a date and time and an image stamp number, but I can't actually see any image in the middle. Yeah, holding it up to the light, you can see there's definitely an image there, but I can't see what it is. It's very, very faint. Very faint. I think it might be an ultrasound. Definitely a bit of an image around here. But again, you just can't, there's just not enough definition to be able to see what is actually there. And there's just so little contrast between unused ink and used ink. It's hard to tell. I doubt you. I wonder whether trying to scan them and then alter the contrast in once it's been scanned. And here's one that's got a bit more of a defined image on it. It looks like there's when it was printed there's been more magenta laid down, so the image was probably fairly red. There doesn't seem to be hardly any of the yellow being used, so I think we're getting close to the end of the roll now. Can't see anything on that one. Some very, very faint shadows maybe. Just down here. Can't see what they are though. So it looks like, yeah, you just got a plastic roller here with a bit of glue on it. It just picks up the ribbon. All right. Let's just have a quick look how thick the actual film is. It's pretty thin, to be fair. Wow. What's that? That is 1. What's the resolution of this? It's 1, which is 0.01 millimeters. Yeah, so that is 10 microns. And it looks like one complete print takes about 58 centimeters. So that works out for this. This is the large print, so that's 50 prints on a cartridge. So that works out to 29 meters of tape. So yeah, that was quite interesting actually. It's surprising how little of the actual colour is actually put onto the actual paper. I expected a very clean, like all the ink gets transferred across onto the paper, but that's clearly not the case. There's actually only a small portion of it, which is why there's only just a very faint image left behind on the ribbon. So yeah, there's I guess you could argue there is a security issue. You know, you can read very clearly defined numbers and things like that, but the normal pictures you can't really tell. Let's see if I can find some of the ones that I've done. So yeah, I don't think there's really too much of an issue about just disposing of these without destroying them, unless you've printed out clearly defined text and stuff like that. You're not really going to be able to tell what's there. You'll be able to tell it's a picture of a person. I mean, maybe you could try scanning that and alter the contrast and stuff like that in Photoshop to see what it would come out to, but you know, I think it's not something I'm going to worry about. Okay, I hope you found that interesting. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.